Evolution podcast. You know what they say, new year, new gear.
Nobody says that.
I just did. Hey everyone, what's going on? Dalton Dale here from the Evolution podcast. I just thought I would do a little bit of something fun today. Recently picked up some new gear and wanted to just take some time and do an unboxing. Thought you guys could share in some of the excitement with me about unboxing new gear. So this is for the gearheads out there, the people who want to know, what am I using? What's my setup look like? I did a remote interview recently, and I'm looking at doing some in-person interviews in the upcoming future, and I realized I don't have the equipment to do that. And so just a quick rundown on what I use now. I've got a laptop that I use. I record everything into CapCut. I make video recording from my phone, and I sync the video to the audio. I'm using a microphone, just a USB microphone that I found on Amazon. The brand is like Fine. It's Fine. Anyways, it was just in my budget. It works really pretty well. But the downside to USB microphones is that usually most laptops or computers or any kind of software can usually only accept one USB input microphone at a time. And so with doing an in-person interview, you need the ability to have multiple inputs into the same recording source, or have it so that or whoever you're interviewing can record individually apart from you, and then you guys can share files afterwards. Sometimes I know that whoever I'm going to be meeting with or interviewing, that may not always be the case. They may not have what they need. In this instance, I'm trying to work out an interview with a band that's coming to town, and while they will have microphones and things like that, I just didn't have anything as far as any kind of interface to be able to work with multiple inputs, recording to multiple tracks, which helps simplify the editing process and so on. So anyways, we're just going to do an unboxing video. I've got some new equipment here. I'm really excited about it. I literally, Amazon packages, haven't opened this at all. So you guys are going to get to kind of go through and experience a little bit of the joy of opening new stuff. And as I go, I'll talk a little bit about what I got, why I got it, and why it's important. I've got some help on the other side of the camera who maybe feeding me some questions. So if there's some weird edits or something, that's what it is. She's my executive producer. She keeps me in line. So let's start with the first package here. I literally, again, I don't know what's in what packages. I didn't know whether I should go straight from the Amazon packaging or not, but my wife suggested go straight from the Amazon packaging because maybe it's just in a plastic bag in the Amazon packaging. That kind of, takes away from the excitement if I've already opened that part up. So let's see what we got here. Okay, looks like this is a couple of the XLR cables that I ordered. So like I said, I'm currently using a USB microphone. The alternative to that is your more traditional audio setup, which is a cable called XLR. XLR is the standardized microphone cable. It's used for a lot of other reasons that I don't know because I'm not an audio gearhead necessarily, but I just know what I needed for this. And so I went with Amazon Basics. They have really, honestly, some really great stuff. My daytime job is in purchasing, and where I used to work, I bought a lot of equipment that is Amazon Basics, batteries, and those kinds of things, and it's really good quality for what it is. So this is a 10-foot cable. I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm getting set up with something that is going to give me some range so that whoever I'm interviewing doesn't have to sit in my lap. Or vice versa. That's probably kind of a weird way to interview. Maybe if I was going for something like Between the Two Ferns or something like that. But so this is, I'll kind of get it up close to the camera here. So this is male and female. This is an XLR cable. So this will go into a microphone and then run that microphone into an audio interface of some kind. So I got a couple of these here just to give myself enough to work with multiple inputs. So this is another set that I got. I don't remember the Cable Matters. That was the brand on this one. And so this is just a couple, it's just a 2-pack that I found. And they're just a couple 6-foot ones. So that way, this will be probably what I will use moving forward, since it's a little bit smaller. But it's the same thing. It's just a different brand. Again, just found a good deal on those to get a couple of them at once. All right, so we'll move on to the next thing here. I know some of what's in these next boxes and packages, and I'm really excited about it, but I don't know what's in what package. So we'll go with this one here. Or should I go with this one, or should I go with the box? I'll go with this one. All right. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm really excited about this. So this is the Zoom. Sorry, there's a glare. There we go. This is the Zoom PodTrak P4. So this is it's a recorder that doubles as an audio interface. So as I mentioned, when you're using XLR microphones, you've got to have your computer doesn't have an XLR input on it, right? So you've got to have something to run that cable into that then feeds that to your computer if you're recording directly to your PC. If you're not recording directly to your PC, what's great about this, I scoured the internet looking at audio interfaces, and one of the things that I saw that was probably the number one tip was to get an audio interface that has more inputs than you think that you'll use. Any kind of audio interface that has more than honestly, even audio interfaces that have 4 channels or more, so 4 microphone inputs or more, are like $300, $400, $500, $600, $1,000. It's crazy, and largely that's, those are used for recording really massive commercial setups. And so this one was great because it was a really great budget find. And what's awesome about it is that it works independently from my PC, and it will accept 4 individual microphone inputs at the same time, record it to 4 individual tracks, and give me 4 different tracks to be able to edit and in the process, which is that is great because that allows you to control everybody's audio individually. Additionally, it's got volume control, mute control for every input that's coming in. It also has 4 outputs for headphone monitoring. So when you're recording, you want to have direct input into hearing what you sound like so that you can control your own volume. And this has that, as well as volume control for those. It even has 4 programmable buttons that actually allow you to put, for example, if I wanted to put my podcast intro song, I could hit the button and it would play the intro song. It's got a spot for outro. If I wanted to put in some round of applause, I could do that. But it'll actually take all of that and record directly into this to an SD card, and then take that SD card and use that to be able to drop the files to my computer. As well, it will also work as an audio interface to go directly to my computer. So I can do 2 inputs, 2 microphone inputs. So if it's just me and one other person, or just me, I can run my microphone into this, run this to my computer, and it will accept that microphone input to my computer. So I thought that was a really, really cool hybrid feature. And it'll be, you can power it with AA batteries, or you can just plug in a USB-C charger. The other really awesome thing about it is that it will also accept, it's got an input for plugging in a phone for a remote guest. So if, let's just say I was interviewing somebody, but they were only available for a phone call, I could call them from my phone, and I could plug my phone into this, and it will record that phone call for me, as well as accept all the other audio that I'm doing at the same time. So again, it's really, really multifunctional in terms of what it can do, but I'll show you a little close up here. So it's not very big. I would say it's probably 6-7 inches tall. You know, 3.5 at the bottom, 4 inches, 5 inches at the top. You can see all the individual knobs here for these are the 4 microphone inputs, and then down here you've got all the different headphone inputs and individual volume control for those. There's the buttons that you use for programming different sounds into, and then again you've got all your volume control for all the different inputs, your mute and which ones are on and off, and then as well it's got a screen here that kind of tells you, you know, what it's accepting. Like I said, it's got the input on the side here for phone input, and then as well power connection here and USB-C output for PC, and then it's got this slot here for the SD card that it records to. So really, really cool. I'm really excited to try this out and see how it works, and see how it flows as an audio interface, as well as how it works as far as a recorder goes. So this will take USB microphones. They take and they convert everything to digital as soon as it gets it and pushes it into the computer. This allows you to take an XLR input, which is only analog, and takes that XLR input and then converts that to digital and pushes it to your computer. So it condenses and does everything for you to take that from an XLR microphone, which tend to have a little bit of a better sound quality to them depending on which kind you get. All right, last box. Oh, that's heavy. Good golly. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. I got quite a few things in here, so we'll go with the smallest to biggest stuff here. All right, so first thing I've got is a SD card. So, like I said, the PodTrak, Zoom PodTrak P4, it accepts an SD card to store everything as you record remotely. So anywhere I go, if I've got that and I've got batteries or a power source, I can have my SD card in there and I can record, even if I don't have my laptop or anything like that. So again, huge advantage that allows things to be a little bit more flexible. And then last thing here, the other thing that I'm very excited about, which I think for those of you that just listen to the podcast, I think this is going to amount to a pretty significant upgrade in sound for you guys, and that is a new microphone. This is the Rode PodMic. Now, Rode is Rode is one of the top podcast equipment manufacturers out there. A lot of the guys that I listen to, I know, for example, Craig Reynolds from the Downbeat. I know he uses Rode mics. They're just, and it's not just podcasts. They've got video mics, they've got phone microphones that you can do if you're shooting video or audio from your phone. They've got Bluetooth microphones. I mean, they've got all the setup. So very well-known brand. Really excited to have this. Again, I think this is going to result in a much better upgraded sound. This is a dynamic podcasting microphone. The other thing that's really cool about this is it uses what's called a cardioid pattern in the microphone, which my wife's laughing at me, which is important, and I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to microphones, you can get microphones that accept audio input from multiple directions. So there's omnidirectional, there's cardioid, and there's one other one that I can't remember, but basically it goes like this. You've got a microphone, and it accepts all your sound, and it's either going to accept it from everywhere around, so front of it, sides of it, 3D spatial sound, right? Then the cardioid mic, it only accepts audio coming to it in a conical direction. And so it only accepts audio coming to it from one direction. Now, what that means is if you've got it in the wrong place, it's not going to pick up anything you say or do. But what that means for me is that when there's audio happening over there behind the camera, if the mic is here, it is only going to pick up what's coming to it from me to the microphone. So that helps reduce background noise. It helps reduce any kind of ticks, clicks, sounds that happen in the background that you really can't control, and really helps improve the overall audio quality that you're getting. So let's open this up, let you have a look at it. I'll share it close up. Again, I'm really excited about this. This is a when I've read reviews, this brand is just really excellent for what I'm doing as far as this podcast is concerned. So it has a pop filter built into it. Pop filters for microphones help improve the sound of when you say things like p and k. It helps reduce that sort of impact that comes into the microphone. So that part's really nice as well. This, if they're not running over here, but yes, it will help with things like we do have 3 dogs, and sometimes they'll clicky clack around the house whenever I'm trying to record a podcast, or sometimes they'll bark from the other room. And so anyways, this microphone, the cardioid pattern that it has, should also help with that as well and reduce those. But man, that stuff is really hard to edit out of audio feeds. So ooh, this thing has some heft. Oh my gosh, that has got some weight. All right, so it's got a metal build. I don't know if it's made out of steel or aluminum or what it's made out of, but man, this thing has got some heft. It's got a couple knobs so you can adjust the angle of it, which is, again, that's useful for what direction or where you're talking into it. Let me tighten this up here and I'll bring it up a little closer to the camera. So as you can see, looks super cool. It's got a really nice design. Again, it's got a screw bottom here, so that'll just screw right onto the top of those microphone stands. It also can screw into, if I was to ever upgrade and get like a boom type of mount, a lot of the podcasters use it, so it's even more hands-free. But it's just got the single XLR input on the back, and again, this is really beautiful. It's just got a really nice feel. The metal body, I feel like, is a really nice touch. It's got a very premium feel to it. So anyways, yeah, so new microphone. We'll see how that sounds when I get that all set up. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. So new microphone. I've got 2 of these, so a couple of these, and then again got the Zoom PodTrak P4. Really excited to use that. I think that's going to be really awesome. And of course the cables and the new mic stands and everything. So I think I'm going to be really fixed up here for any kind of opportunities that come up. And again, I think all of this will help just improve my sound quality overall when I'm just recording my normal week-to-week stuff and give you guys a better experience. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed a little gear rundown. Maybe I'll snap a picture once I get some of this set up and I'm playing around with it and share it on socials. Make sure to go like, follow, subscribe wherever you are. Go find the podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio Podcasts. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. And then as well, you can go find me on socials: Facebook, TikTok, Hevolution Podcast, Hevolution Pod on TikTok, and find that there. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have an awesome week.